It's all go down in the bottom five with wins for three of the sides since the weekend. Here's my take on the Premier League relegation picture. Gigantic gold star for Wolves this week. They are out of the bottom five, and not only did they win, they beat the champions Manchester City at the weekend. It was 2-1 to Wolves, and this shot map probably tells you everything you need to know about how it happened. Outstanding win. That takes Wolves up to the 1 point per game marker. Right now, 38 points across the season. Looks like it's going to be well in excess of the survival total. Surely there's no bigger confidence boost than a win over the champions. Wolves at home again next time. Another opponent in fifth placed Aston Villa. It was a double head-to-head weekend with Everton playing Luton on Saturday and then that catch-up game between Luton and Burnley on Tuesday. What a day Saturday was for Luton as they won in the top flight for the first time in 3 decades. It was a 2-1 win over rivals Everton. We've already talked about the value of winning these head-to-heads, and from an Everton point of view, they've now faced Wolves, Sheffield United and Luton and not won a single one of them. Bang bang, set piece double for Luton in the first half. Third of the season for Morris too. So important he keeps ticking over as a regular goal scorer. A historic day for Luton then, a bad head-to-head loss for Everton. But things moved fast in football and it was back to action for the Hatters just 3 days later and that cancelled game from August against Burnley. We'll go to the second big head-to-head, that one on Tuesday via Burnley's game at Newcastle at the weekend. Not massive amounts to say, however, as they were well beaten in the end by Newcastle. Burnley did, however, miss a huge chance 4 minutes in at 0-0, and we'll discuss in the next game the utterly vital nature of these big moments. The Geordies turned the screw as the game went on. They ran out 2-0 winners, and it really could have been more. That takes us to that huge head-to-head at Kenilworth Road in the midweek, with Luton having the chance to record vital back-to-back wins, but it was Burnley who came away victorious for their first win of the campaign. There wasn't a lot in this one, and it feels like all those vital moments we mentioned seemed to be taken advantage of by Burnley. Firstly, the timing of that opener for Foster. First half stoppage time. Who knows what the second half looks like if the first half ends 0-0 and not 1-0. Luton then don't get a big penalty shout, but do get the equaliser from Adebayo on 84. There and then, you'd make Luton favourites to go on and win, but whether it was concentration, emotional control, or just a great finish, right from kickoff, it's a sucker punch in the gut as Burnley take the lead, Larson curling in the winner. No back-to-back wins for Luton, Burnley off the mark, and that bottom five all stay within 3 points of one another. That leaves us two sides still without a win as Bournemouth drop down into the bottom three and Sheffield United stay rock bottom. The Cherries got absolutely pummeled 4-0 by Arsenal. We've acknowledged that Bournemouth have had a hard start. The next 3 games are Everton, Wolves and Burnley. They really need win number 1 somewhere in there, or Mr. Iraola in the dugout is going to really start feeling the heat on the south coast. The hard old slog for Sheffield United continues. They went under 2-0 at West Ham, and honestly, it was kind of done by half-time with Bowen and Souček scoring inside the first 40 minutes. The Blades have already lost more games than any other side in the Premier League and only scored points in 1 out of their 7 games so far. I hope I'm wrong, but they are coming across as a level less competitive than their relegation rivals so far. To the table then, and Sheffield United and Bournemouth are at serious risk here of reaching the international break without a victory. It is that big Everton v Bournemouth head-to-head this coming weekend. Who, if anyone, will take advantage of that fixture? Sheffield United head off to Fulham, but there are home games for Luton and Burnley. Only issue is it's Luton v Spurs and Burnley v Chelsea. It is early days, of course, but there's a small gap between 16th and 15th, giving us a definitive bottom 5 to talk about, and an even smaller gap between 19th and 20th, putting Sheffield United adrift at the bottom at this moment in time. Of course, it's nothing a win or two wouldn't sort out, but it's 3 wins in 35 for the bottom 5 so far, suggesting that that is easier said than done. There you have it. That is our latest Premier League relegation catch up. Let me know what you think of my take down there in the comments, or better still, you can reply with your own. Thanks for all the support for the channel. We'd love you to hit join down there and support financially if you can. No problem if not, but if you can't, then why not stay here for another video? Click up here to see how far out I am right now with my pre-season Premier League 1 to 20 predictions and whether my bottom 3 is anywhere near what the current table says 7 games in.